So pictures from the Masters of the Universe shooting have come out, and it shows Camila Mendes as Teela and Nicholas Galitzine as Prince Adam slash He Man. And a few thoughts popped in. Number one, let me get the negative out of the way. There is a minimal attempt to diminish the sexual appeal of Teela. I say minimal because I'll get to the positive on that in a second, but just based on the fact that they're not going completely fully comic slash cartoon accurate with the outfit, with her, wearing that one piece, what it looks like a one piece swimsuit, with her boots and really pushing the sex appeal of the character, which is part of her popularity, along with characters like Teela, Shira, and going into the '90s with characters like Xena. These characters, these female characters, part of their popularity is the sex appeal. And I know some people are uncomfortable talking about that, but unfortunately, not unfortunately, the fact is that masculinity plays a big part in the popularity of these IPs, and you're appealing to a male demographic. So it only makes sense that when you showing females that they're very visually appealing. No surprise they didn't go for the one piece swimsuit outfit for Teela. But that being said, they definitely seem to be chasing the cartoon accuracy based on the colors of the outfits, and surprisingly, Camila does look pretty good as Teela here. The hair is they gave her the cherry red, which is surprisingly refreshing because there is an attempt by Hollywood to de-represent the gingers. Every time a ginger is cast, it's always a in the role given to a black person, which is insane. It's insane that Hollywood is going that route, but it appears they're giving ginger some love here. So that's refreshing, and she looks good as Teela. There definitely is an attempt to try to capture that. So I'm cautiously optimistic here. I don't think it's terrible, but we don't know much about the screenplay other than it starts off on Earth, and somehow, some way, it ends up in Eternia. So it's not really entirely encouraging. I'll say that, but at the very least, there is an attempt to capture the visual aesthetics of the cartoon. So I'm happy about that. Well, I shouldn't say happy. Let's be honest. I am very cautiously optimistic. I'm at a point where I kind of disconnect from these adaptations because I always expect Hollywood to disappoint. I have to expect them to disappoint me. I don't really see more good than usual with these adaptations. I mean, for goodness sakes, with the Fantastic Four, like um, they got some of the visual aesthetics correct, but Thing doesn't sound like Thing. They really nerfed Johnny Storm's quote unquote womanizing behavior, modern day sensibilities, and all that stuff. So I'm not uh, holding my breath that they're gonna really be faithful to the IP here. And Masters of the Universe is an IP that is so it's money in the bank. This is money in the bank. It takes a good visionary to see what they can do with this property and really make it like the next Star Wars for the upcoming generation. But for whatever reason, this IP keeps going back to people with no vision for it. Whether it's Kevin Smith and his abominable animation for Netflix, which really destroyed a lot of the lore that the Filmation series established, and now with this live action, and again, I know it's premature to offer any kind of negative judgment on it. However, I think I have history on my side to say that there's more reason to believe this is going to be an abominable adaptation. I don't know though. I really don't know. It could surprise me. It could very well end up being one of the best, if not the best, adaptation of Masters of the Universe. At the very least, they're going to bring back the characters from the IP, like Trapjaw and Ram Man is going to be in this. Mossman, Tri-clops. So there is an attempt to bring back these characters. Unlike the 1987 live action film, which outside of Beastman and evil-lyn, all the villains were made up characters, which is fine. I didn't have so much of a problem with that, but I think people want to see these colorful characters being brought to life in a live action screen. And again, on Teela's outfit, like Chelsea Fields also had a full bodysuit in the '87 live action film, but in a way, it's been iconic. So I don't have a problem with it, considering that they really made an attempt to give it the cartoon, the colors, the cartoon color aesthetic for Teal's character. So there is some hope there. We haven't seen any photos of the villains yet. We don't know how Skeletor is going to look, or tri-clops, or these guys. And I'm not even sure if Battle Cat's in this. I think I heard someone say that Battle Cat would be in this. I'm not sure though, but I could be wrong. But I'll say cautiously optimistic about this. I gave Kevin Smith's Masters of the Universe Revelation show a fair shake. If you go back to my videos where I talked about the when the news broke and then the series was about to debut, I gave Kevin Smith a fair shake. I wasn't outright dismissive. I said, you know what? He said it's going to be good for the fans. He swears that the rumors about it being Teela centric were not true, that it was all about He Man. And then when the show comes out, it turns out he lied, that it was Teela centric, and He Man took a back seat. And He Man doesn't make an appearance again till the final episode of a 10 episode season. It's like, wow, this is he lied through his fucking teeth. He really did. So a lot of that goodwill is done. It's been broken. So I'm not gonna say, don't. I'm not gonna say dismiss this. I'm not gonna say, hey, it's gonna be another crappy adaptation. I'll wait. I'm gonna give it a chance before I get further information about whether this potentially could be a good movie or not. I don't know. I'm still shaking my head about it setting it on Earth for the first half of it, but I don't know. I don't know where the story's gonna go, and if it leads to a grander, epic adaptation that could lead to a series of movies that could help Hollywood out of its doldrum. So, we'll wait and see on where this goes. But if you follow me on the channel, I'm a big Masters of the Universe fan. So I'm going to give it a shot until more photos come out, until more of the story comes out, and then I'll know if I'm going to fully endorse this movie. But again, the streak of stuff coming out in the last couple of years in Hollywood has led me to believe this is going to be another downer, and I really hate to say that. So I'm going to wait until I get further confirmation before I say that it's another failed opportunity. But again, like, just going by the photos, it at least does an attempt to make the characters visually, aesthetically accurate. So I'll give them that, and I will say that there's that. So there's some excitement. But you guys who are Masters of the Universe fans, what do you think? What are your thoughts on this as the movie continues production and these photos are coming out? You think these photos is a sign of good things? You think there's hope to be had? You think that they're on the right path? Or you think it's a Trojan horse and you think that this is probably going to be as good as it gets? We'll see. We'll see where this goes. Let me know what you guys think. And leave your comments in the section below as we continue to follow the production of this. And check out my earlier videos on this, as well as some of my other Masters of the Universe videos. And if you haven't already, if you guys are into the indie comics, I have a comic book called Beast Citizen Road Warrior Drake. It's the second graphic novel. Yes, graphic novel, meaning it's a complete story in the trilogy of books. This is the current book right now. And you can get the first book, Street Champion Road Warrior Drake, and Beast Citizen Road Warrior Drake from my comic, which is at roadwarriordrake.com. And I hope that you guys enjoy it once you get it. And I look forward to putting out more content for you. Take care and have a great rest of your day.